If you've been waiting for the right time to sell your Tampa home, stick around because this video is going to give you the real current picture of this market. Not the headlines, not what your neighbor heard, the actual numbers as of June 2026. Here's the truth. This market has changed quite a bit over the last couple of years, and a lot of what people know about Tampa real estate is already out of date. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where things stand, and whether selling now or waiting actually makes sense for your specific situation. Quick note before we dive in, I'm Tony, a real estate agent here in Tampa with eXp Realty. And I make videos like this because I'd rather you walk into a decision this big with real information, not guesswork. So whether you're on the fence about listing this summer, or you've already decided to wait until next year, let's get into it. Let's start with the big picture. Tampa has shifted into a buyer's market. And if you bought or sold here back in 2021 or 2022, this market is going to feel very different. Inventory has grown significantly. Depending on the source, Tampa is sitting somewhere between a 4 and 5 month supply of homes for sale. To put that in perspective, anything above 6 months is traditionally considered a buyer's market, and anything under 3 months favors sellers. We're sitting right in the middle, which means buyers have real choices again, and that changes how negotiations go. Homes are also taking longer to sell. Average time on market is running anywhere from about 6 to 14 weeks, depending on the area and price point, with well-priced homes typically going under contract in around 38 days. And here's a number that surprises a lot of sellers. Over half of all active listings in Tampa right now have had at least one price reduction, and homes are selling on average around 4% below their original list price. None of this means the market is bad, it means the market is more balanced. And pricing, presentation, and strategy matter more than they did a few years ago. So what does this actually mean if you're getting ready to list? First, pricing matters more than ever. In a market like this, the home that's priced right from day one gets the most attention, the most showings, and the best offers in the first 2 to 3 weeks. After that, buyers start to assume something's wrong with it, even if the only thing wrong is the price. That's why so many homes end up with price cuts. They were priced for a market that doesn't exist anymore, and now they're chasing it down. Second, presentation matters more. When buyers have options, the homes that show well, decluttered, well lit, freshly painted where needed, are the ones that stand out. We'll get into specific prep advice in another video. But the short version is, a little effort up front can mean the difference between multiple showings in week 1 or sitting for 2 months. And third, concessions are back. Right now, a lot of successful sellers in Tampa are offering to contribute 2 to 3% toward the buyer's closing costs or toward a temporary rate buydown. That might sound like giving something away, but in this market, it can actually help your home sell faster and closer to your asking price because it widens the pool of buyers who can afford it. Now let's talk about interest rates, because this is the piece that's driving a lot of buyer behavior right now. 30-year fixed mortgage rates in Florida are running around 6.5% to 6.75%. Most forecasts have rates staying in roughly that range through the rest of the year. In other words, don't expect a dramatic drop. What this means for you as a seller is twofold. On one hand, higher rates have priced some buyers out. On the other hand, the buyers who are out there right now are serious. They're not casually browsing at 6.5%. They're qualified, motivated, and ready to move when they find the right home. This is also why those rate buy-down concessions are so effective. A seller-paid buydown can lower a buyer's monthly payment enough to make your home affordable to a buyer who might otherwise be on the fence, without you having to drop your price. So, should you sell now or wait? Here's how I'd think about it. I've walked quite a few sellers through exactly this decision over the past few months. It almost always comes down to the same factors. Waiting only makes sense if you have a specific reason to believe the market will be meaningfully better later. And right now, most forecasts call for home prices to rise 2 to 3% next year. That's modest. That's not the kind of jump that's likely to offset another year of mortgage payments, maintenance, insurance, and property taxes on a home you're not living in. On the other hand, selling now makes sense if your life circumstances are pushing you to move. You're sitting on significant equity you could put to work elsewhere, or you're tired of maintenance. It also matters what you're doing next. If you're planning to buy again in Tampa, a more balanced market can actually work in your favor on both ends. Selling and buying in a balanced market is less stressful. Let's talk about the cost of waiting, because this is the part people often don't run the numbers on. Every month you own a home, you're paying property taxes and insurance. In Florida, these have gotten significantly more expensive. Let's say your carrying costs run around $2,000 a month. Wait 6 months, and that's $12,000. For that to make financial sense, the market would need to move enough in those 6 months to more than make up for it. And based on current forecasts, that's not a guarantee. There's also an emotional cost. If you're ready to move on, whether that's downsizing, relocating, or finally selling a rental, every month you wait is a month you're not living the next chapter. A couple of quick questions I'm getting a lot right now. Is Tampa in a housing crash? No. Prices have cooled and leveled off, but this is a correction toward balance, not a crash. The median sale price for single-family homes in Tampa Bay has been hovering right around $400,000 for a while now. Pretty stable, just not climbing like it was. If I wait until rates drop, will buyers come flooding back and bid up my price? Maybe eventually, but most forecasts don't show a dramatic rate drop on the horizon. And even if rates ease somewhat, it would likely bring more sellers back to the market too, which keeps things balanced rather than triggering a frenzy. Is now a bad time to sell? Not necessarily. It's a different time to sell. Homes that are priced right and presented well are still selling, often within a few weeks. The sellers who struggle are usually the ones pricing for 2022. So here's the bottom line. Tampa's market has shifted toward more balance, inventory is up, and pricing strategy matters more than it has in years. But serious buyers are still out there. Here's what I'd encourage you to do next. If you're even considering selling in the next 6 to 12 months, click the link below and book a free, no-pressure consultation with me. We'll go through your specific numbers, your equity, your timeline, what your home would likely sell for in today's market. So you're making this decision with real information. That link is right below this video. Click it, grab a time that works for you, and let's talk through your situation. I'm Tony with eXp Realty. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update. I'm here to help you navigate this Tampa market with confidence. Talk soon.